Good morning. It's morning here on the farm. I know enough to be dangerous. My name's Rob, and today what we're going to do is backstory. We have to haul our Christmas trees around in November, and we have a couple different trailers. Our longest one was a 16 footer, and it's just not long enough. We actually had to take the tailgate off and drop it down at the farm. We were picking up some trees, and you can see it in the background. Still has the 2x4s on for sides. We had to take the tailgate off and rig up some 2x4s on the rear end, and it was we had to go down the throughway, and the trees were hanging off at least 4 foot. We stack them like cordwood on there, so we get a bunch on there. I think we had 150 trees on there, but the last row we have them three long lengthwise, stacked like cordwood, but the last row was hanging over the end of the trailer by at least 3 feet, and that doesn't look good. So we got off the throughway and took the back roads home, which times the journey by 3. A normal hour drive turned into almost 3. One of the problems was we ripped the license plate off leaving the farm. Fortunately, we called the farm back and they had it, but we didn't know. We drove 100 miles without a license plate, trees hanging off 3 feet. Normal farm stuff is what I'm saying. So I searched around, and the other problem was I bought this secondhand like I do everything, and I couldn't find the tag, or maybe it was scraped off or something, I don't know, but saying what the axle weight was. In my experience, if it's got 5 lugs and 16-foot dual axle trailer, it should have 3,500 pound axles. Well, I guess this manufacturer makes a 2,500 pound axle that they put on some of their trailers, and the reason I think they're 2,500 pounds is, boy, this thing squats with the trees. It's supposed to be a 7,000 pound trailer. I don't think 145 6 to 7 foot Christmas trees are 7,000 pounds. I know, take the GVW, but if you take the weight of the trailer out of there, those Christmas trees can't weigh more than 3,000 pounds. There's no way. One reason I know that is I've hauled the TYM on that tractor, believe it or not, and that thing is only 4,000 pounds. So I know what the load feels like when my truck is pulling 4,000 pounds. It didn't feel heavy, but I had to take a pry bar and pry the, well, let me show you. I had to actually take a pry bar to my fenders. I know. Take a pry bar right here to get these fenders off the tires. Thing for both of them and the other side. And the tires are the correct size. It's a Sure Track 16 foot, and yeah, I think this is a 5,000 pound trailer. So the new one is 2 foot longer, and I know it's a 7,000 pound trailer. So same exact trailer, I'll show it to you in a minute, but we put these 2x4s, we bolt these 2x4s on so we can stack the trees right up. We don't go super high, we probably go up 5-6 feet, and then we put a tie strap from side to side so it's not bowing out when we get halfway up. Yes, as you can see, we got to take some stuff off here. I got a couple more water totes, and this thing here is a 3-point hitch hiller attachment that somebody made, so I can appreciate that. You all know that. Somebody made that, and we're going to use that for our seedling beds. We're going to get some sand. We're going to dig some sand out of the bank while I was bulldozing. So we have to take the water totes and the 2x4s off, because unfortunately we're gonna sell this trailer. I put new wiring on it, a whole new wire harness and LED lights. Not sure the brakes work, because I'm not sure the electric brake controller in my truck works, so I really haven't worried about that too much. So let's go take a look at the newer one. Well, new to us. So here's the newest addition to the fleet here. Again, it's another SureTrack. It came with these red. The red things are for like weed eaters and weed eater string and backpack blowers, and I think I'll hang on to those, and we'll use those for, you know, sides, you know, going down the throughway, because, you know, going down the throughway with 2x4s up in the air is, I don't know. Yeah, I think you're just asking for trouble. But this one is a SureTrack also. It's a nice built trailer. I like how the frame goes all the way back to the front axles. I always look for that in a trailer like this. It's got decent tires, but my enclosed trailer's got brand new tires on it, and that's basically a storage unit. So I think I'll swap the tires out. It's got some surface rust, and we'll I don't know if we're gonna sandblast this or what, but the tailgate, I always look at the tailgate. It doesn't look like it's ever been, you know, overweight on loading something. There's no bow in it. There's only ding is that little bit right there with the expanded metal, but you know, you can catch that with a lawnmower. But it has the nice protectors there. The tailgate's nice, a split tailgate. They're heavy duty. They got the, you know, the ramps built in. I know the whole thing is a ramp, but when they have the heavier duty ramp in the middle, I always look for that. But that's a kind of a signature of these SureTrack trailers. This is kind of cool. Maybe I don't know. I don't do commercial mowing anymore, but you know, this got a little spring. I'm sure I could use this for something, but I think I'll use them for racks. I think we're going to have to update this wire harness. It got some little cancer going in there, but you know, it's got some surface rust. It's about 12 years old. I love to see that on a trailer. Powder coat tough, you know, powder coat tough, baby. It doesn't wear off. It comes off in chunks, but it hasn't. All this surface rust is from when I dragged it home. You know, I got one oops. I did not do that, but you know, got an oops there. So when I see an oops like that, I check underneath, make sure the axle is okay. I think somebody just caught it when they were loading. You know, we've all done that before. But the back looks good. You know, it did have a little booger up there, bent down, but that's from maybe having the jack too high or having the tongue up too high while you're dragging it. You come out of a gas station or something. But it has this tube, heavy duty tube, the whole length of it. My other one doesn't have that. So my other one doesn't have any chain pockets either, which I thought was weird. That also got me thinking of maybe this thing isn't a 7,000 pound trailer, but you know, I couldn't read this tag. I can't read this tag either, but unfortunately on the title, I wish they'd put the GVW on the title, but in New York they only put you register it for the payload. So if and you get whacked, the more you register your trailer. So it's, you know, it's nice and straight. I always check for that, because if it's bowed in the center, it's had a lot of weight on it. The decking's good, which isn't a deal breaker for me. You can always replace the decking, but you know, the thing has not been abused. This isn't all boogered up. So it looks good. I think it's going to suit us just fine. Most of the time it'll sit, well, I'll use this a couple times a year, but in November, first part of November, you know, we're getting greens and getting trees from other places. And I found a straight run of sand when I was digging out this area for the new greenhouse, and I just purchased a new to me greenhouse. So we'll have that in the takedown. So let's see if we can. I gotta move this up. I gotta take the stuff off this other trailer. I gotta take the stuff off of it and get some pictures, put it on Marketplace. I want to get this going down the road. I got a 2-year policy. If I don't use something in 2 years, it's got to go. We're doing good on snow and ice control. This is where we were. One of the videos this winter, trying to keep this. Sorry to do this to you, but I haven't started this since November. Let's see what she'll do. Do some glow plug action here. Don't take it out of gear. Never start the tractor when you're on the ground. Okay, let's give it a shot. Oh yeah. The old manual door opener. Let's see if I can get you some shots of me, a 50 plus year old guy trying to kill himself more than he should, but I gotta get, you know what I don't have is the key to that lock. I always put a tongue lock. I forgot the key to my tongue lock. You know, that's keeping the honest crooks honest, I guess. But let's see what we can do. Let the tractor warm up a little bit. Fortunately, I got to break that one off with a hammer. And when I said hammer, you know, I meant the 10-ounce sledge, of course. The only thing going in this 2x4's favor is I'll forget where I put them. Probably the only reason I won't use them. Bring in here. I don't know if anybody's ever done a tote review or a 101 on these totes, but these are what, if somebody's calling tote, we need a tote, whatever, this is what it is. And they have a nice galvanized cage, really strong. They have a nice, either that's all plastic down there or, you know, galvanized as far as getting your pallet forks in there. The valves all nice and protected. So these valves, some of them come that are threaded on the inside that you can just convert them to pipe thread, or they got adapters now that screw right over the top of them, and they come out with 1 inch or 3/4 inch, or some of them even come with a little garden hose thing, and very useful. Good way to recycle. It's got the smaller. This unscrews for a smaller fitting so you can fill, or you know, the bigger fill like that. And the look inside there, ooh, inside a tote. So we'll clean this out. Supposedly the guy just used it for water, and both of them for water, and I kind of believe him because it was a hop guy. They used to grow hops. Not sure what it used to have in it, some sort of ethanol, but it doesn't smell like ethanol. It's only been in the USA. That's cool. So what we'll do is we'll bring it closer to the edge here, because I'm pulling both things here. So we'll get it so the forks can get a little easier, and so I don't have to get up on the trailer. See if I can do this one-handed. So here's the cockpit, T35, New Holland TC35. It's forward, back, it's gear. You got to use a clutch, and then it has a couple different ranges here. You can just go through the ranges, and then there's a high. There's a low, medium, and high. This guy, most of the time I'm in medium, so I get stuck, then I go into low. Loader controls, I love this position of this. The loader, really comfortable. They thought that one through, kind of a cup holder. Looks like somebody's been using it as a picnic table or something. This is the, some of the other ones have the controls up here, which I wish this one did. But these controls are down here, and Where's the PTO on this? Oh, the PTO is just stupidly placed right here. Way down here where it's not convenient at all. These controls on some of the other ones are put right here, which would be nice. I would sacrifice a couple over any day. Then I put a third function on there, kind of a redneck third function. I have to disconnect down there to use it, but I got the valve for it, but of course I used it on something else to make the tree tire work. I took all the, I know guys, I'm usually a lot better at this, but I don't usually do it one-handed. So these totes are real light, so you gotta get some of it. Then reverse, it's just that, it's kind of nice. There's no sensors on this thing. Well, there's some, really starting to look like Sanford and Son here. All this stuff came out of the greenhouse to make room for Frankenstein. If you don't know who Frankenstein is, you know, from my other videos. Let's go get this hiller. I know, it looks like a disaster down here. I hate it. But at least I don't have to see it. It's a disaster down here, I know, I hate it. And then, you know, the parking brake's a pain in the butt. Right here is the, so you set it and then pull this back, and then to release it, you just do that. But for like 10 years, I reached down there with my hand till I hurt my back, and then, you know, you got to change up your stuff. So here's the hiller we bought. Here's the hiller we bought. Well, there's a design flaw, but look at all that stuff. I guess I'll know not to park it up tipped up like that York rake split. But here's the hiller. It goes on the 3-point hitch here, and then you put it down, and these discs make a nice little windrow depending on how thick. Here's a nice little bar you can put weight on there. I think that's a great idea. The guy made this, which is really slick. So we'll lift that up. Never get on a trailer or get on a tractor that side. Showing you what not to do. Let's try to get a hold of this thing. Got it. Add this to the pile of stuff. Most of this stuff's going to go into the future pole barn. Put this thing away. It's good to run equipment. I can't believe the battery wasn't dead. Alright, back again. So here's the trailer. I got it all cleaned off. I'm going to take some pictures to put it on Facebook Marketplace. So if you guys want trailers, it'll be on Facebook. I'll show you how this trailer lock works. So you have kind of a tooth side, and then that goes on the lock side. So you put it like this versus like this. I don't know if it really matters, but have your tongue lock back, and then you fit this in there, and then you can, and the teeth side goes over here where the key goes in, and then it locks in like that, and you know it's got a little thing there to cover that up. It seems to be a lot better. It's a Reese tow power lock. It seems to be better than some of the other ones I've used, or some of the other ones you can just jam a thing down there and take it right off. Probably shouldn't tell you guys that, but you can. But this is a little bit better. I don't know if I'd leave this on a job site, too long for somebody to think about it or cut it or whatever. But around the farm where we hardly ever have anybody walking around, hopefully it does the purpose. Looks like a lock, and you don't have to put this down or anything. The other thing I was thinking about switching out on this trailer is this jack. This is a brand new jack. Well, what's cool about it is this is free flowing. That locks it in, but you can put your drill on there, and electric drill go up and down just like that. So, and then you can lock it into place. How do you do that? Huh. Lock it into place. I don't know how you do that, but whatever. You get the gist. But, it was on clearance, so I don't know. Makes me wonder. But this is the trailer. It's got good rubber, decent rims. You got a little booger up on the tailgate there. I don't know if you can see that. But again, the deck is good. There's nothing, just trailer brakes. I don't know. I've never used them. So that's it. That's the trailer. That's the 16-foot SureTrack we're going to get rid of, and hope for the best. So that's going to end it for today. Thanks for watching. I know enough to be dangerous farm. My name's Rob. Click that subscribe button. Help me out a little bit. I'd appreciate it. Otherwise, have a great day. Take care.